Yo, what's up, guys? Yeah, we're doing just a little car talk video tonight. Just going out for a little drive. Little bit of a life update. So, I've been on Reddit for a week now, and I wasn't really feeling the results that much, or at least appetite-wise. I know I'm losing a little bit of weight, but I simply just wasn't feeling, super satiated after every meal until 2 days ago when, a couple guys on .org said it should be kicking in around a week. So we're a week and some change in, and I'm definitely feeling it, man. I didn't eat at all today. It's like some middle school ED shit, man. It's fucking insane. Today was, besides going to work and I guess just being a wage cuck, it was not very productive. And I was like, okay, we're gonna have one meal today, just one, and so I don't fucking completely starve Max and like lose all of, any fucking gains that we had. But that didn't work out, man. I don't know what happened. The second I made some beef and scrambled eggs, trying to optimally increase testosterone and stuff, and I don't know, I just was anxious about just life, and I just vomited it all up. It's just something inside me, man. I don't know. It's, that's the brutal food pill, man. There's not that much you can do about it. Yeah. But yeah, it's around, I think it's midnight now. It might be midnight. 11:44 p.m., almost midnight. And we haven't eaten a single calorie today, which is batshit insane. I don't know. I think the Reddit is working a little too well because I just feel nothing all day. It's I don't know. And it's when you're going through like a breakup, I guess. It's hard enough even with when you don't have an ED or whatever. It's fucking hell, man. If I wasn't so determined on achieving results, I wouldn't recommend this to anyone. But it's a crazy world we live in, man. I would say I've been watching this guy named Hexamlight recently. And he discusses his journey from sub 5 to mid-tier normie, and I'd say he's around high-tier normie right now. If he's fucking mid-tier, then I'm sub 5 as hell. But yeah, and I'll tell you, a lot of the stuff he says is true. A lot of the things comes from confidence. A lot of normies will say just just be confident, bro. And it's not, it's not that easy to just innerly be confident, right? A lot of confident people have had a positive feedback loop their entire lives, where constant validation and people accepting them for who they are, because they're not decent looking. And when I was a kid, I was living on a extremely shitty diet. I was high stress all the time. I didn't have a super good relationship at home. It was pretty fucking brutal, right? So all the time I was always under eating. I honestly have developed a pretty good physique now. I get a decent amount of compliments for it from girls and stuff. So it's not truly over for me, right? But when I was younger, I no facial aesthetics. My eyebrows were practically gone. Just bloating, skinny, fat, but still borderline anorexic at the same time. Which that's the thing. It'll make the ascension all the more worth it, right? But yeah, man, it's crazy to think about when you look at old pictures, even that's from a year ago, and you're I've come so far. And it's crazy how many times normies will try to deny that, I guess. And, you know, we're all constantly living in this fucking positive feedback loop. And if you were like me when you grew up, it was a constant, like, negativity. There was no really, like, you know, I wouldn't receive any, like, I didn't really receive any, like, good, like, indicators of interest from girls until I was around, like, God, like, 17 or 18. And still then I was very ugly, sub 5, 100%. I don't think I really, like, ascended to low tier normie until, you know, I'd say around a year or two ago, until I was, like, around, like, okay looking. And now, you know, I've gotten to where I'm, like, a mid-tier, low mid-tier normie, so we're, like, borderline average. You know, I have some good traits. You know, I've got clear skin, but I have other shitty qualities. You know, like, I have ptosis, which is basically one of my eyelids is droopy, right? So that's gonna create an illusion, and it's gonna, you know, make your face look more asymmetrical, right? And it's, dude, it's so brutal. Like, even just having, like, I don't know, I honestly get it more than guys, and they'll be like, wait, why is one of your eyes, like, they look bigger than the other one? And that shit's so, it's so fucking brutal. I don't think a girl's ever said that to me, honestly, but, you know, that's because girls are usually more, like, empathetic and shit. So yeah, it's like that. But I've, you know, it's one of those brutal things that you can do when you come to the realization, you know, no amount of soft maxes are gonna cure this ptosis, man. Like, the only thing that will cure it is surgery. And it's yeah, it's just a droopy eyelid surgery. So I think it would cost around, with insurance, maybe $800 to $2,000, without $5,000 or more. And obviously, like, right now I'm a poor college student who's about to graduate, so I don't think I have any means of, like, affording that right now. And there's a bunch of other stuff I want to do with my aesthetics. You know, I want to get orthodontics again, because, you know, I got orthodontics as a kid, and I just fucking did not use my retainer. I didn't treat my body right. I would just eat like shit, because I was like, you know, growing up and being, like, a teenager in high school, and, like, I had to move around after my parents divorced, so it was pretty rough. And just, like, little to no success with girls up until I graduated high school, really. Like, you know, I had like a girlfriend, but it literally went nothing more than, you know, just occasional dates and whatever. It was hypergamy at its finest. It was insane. I didn't lose my virginity until I was, like, 18, I think. 18 or 19. It was fucking brutal. Until I was in college. And, like, I always had these high expectations for, like, losing your virginity. And, like, I think I didn't even get to enjoy the sex, because at that point it was just to have it, you know? And I think I carried over that, you know, into some other times where I would, you know, date around a lot and you know, be in a decent amount of relationships within, like, 2 years. And I was just, like, feeling unfulfilled because of I think the main thing that, I don't know, like, it's easy to compare myself to some of, like, my friends, because a lot of them are, like, still virgins, and you know, they haven't had that, so it's easy to put yourself, like, damn, okay, maybe my you know, my sexual market value isn't complete shit after all, right? Like, I'm doing okay for myself. But really, I think the only thing that pushed me to, like, you know, be assertive and be, like, have a lot of decent success with girls is just, like, pure just fucking hatred for yourself, right? I think that, like, that's, like, the main motivator for true success and, like, any sort of, like, looks maxing, right? You truly do have to hate yourself deep down. And I don't know, I look into a lot of these people's backgrounds, and they're all, like, they're all fucked up on the inside. I don't think that any, like, you know, normie with a super good family and a super nice background and a good childhood could ever truly understand, like, what it means to have, like, a negative feedback loop. And then to finally, when you, like, ascend a little bit, you, people treat you differently. I remember, like, when I was still, like, in that four range, you know, I got an internship. Pure fucking nepotism, you know. That was one of the benefits of it. I didn't deserve any of the success I have with money making and getting jobs, right? Like, my one and only internship was pure just fucking nepotism. I think I've done all right, and I work hard where I'm at with what I've given, but it was just handed to me on a platter, so I can't even, you know, attribute any of that to my hard work. But I remember, like, when, you know, I wasn't super deep into the black pill, and I didn't lift at all, I wasn't working out, and I was treated just like a child. You know, keep in mind, I was around, I think when I started the internship, I was 18, and I really didn't get treated differently until I was, like, 19 or 20. Up until around last year, like, people started to treat me like more of as like a man and as a human. And, like, even in classes, I remember when I was doing CS, I was doing comp sci for my freshman and, you know, partial way into sophomore year, and I don't think I realized the hell that I was in, right? I was probably a low tier normie back then, you know. I was like, I knew how to dress a little bit, but I just, you know, I looked like fucking complete shit. Super skinny, borderline anorexic, right? And, yeah, I mean, I would just fucking jester max my way into any sort of relationship. I remember, like, the girl that I was dating in sophomore year, she looked so much better than me. And I was like, I didn't really think about it at the time. I was just like, you know, I've got a good looking girlfriend. But now I'm just like, you know, shout out to her, man. She was, you know, she might prove the hypergamy pill doesn't exist, right? Because, yeah. But, yeah, it's insane, like, how different people would treat you. I remember, it was fucking disgusting. Even this semester, you know, I've talked about this a little bit with some people, but me and my girlfriend, or I don't know what it is really right now, it was bad. Like, I messed up and I made some hasty decisions because I'm just so insecure about, like, what I want in life and, like, the way I look and stuff, that, like, I ended up breaking up with her, like, prematurely. And I realized, like, pretty much right after I did it, it was the greatest, not my greatest mistake, but a very large mistake, right? You know, she definitely treated me like, and she understood where I was coming from a lot of places, and she took the time to listen. Like, a lot of the girls that I've, you know, been with, they, you know, I could never be truly myself or really neurodivergent. I would always have to put on, like, a face and, like, you know, just be attractive as possible and just talk about normal subjects. I could never really be myself around them. And it was different to be treated like this, and I, you know, you'll never truly understand how blessed you are until it's gone or whatever. So yeah, I asked her about it, and, you know, we're on a break, and I don't know, I don't really believe in breaks, but for her I'm willing to wait. But as the break's continuing, like, I think it's also because I'm losing a lot of weight. And honestly, like, after today, I, like, looked in the mirror and I have a full fucking, like, no bullshit, an actual six-pack for the first time in it's been a long time since I was actually pretty fucking skinny instead of, you know, semi-jacked, right? And I'm like, wow, okay, the Reddit's fucking working. I just feel like a corpse, and just I feel empty all the time. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't know if she'd want to get back together after all that I've done, and that's the thing. Like, I completely understand that, which is the fucked up part. Like, it is my fault. So I do feel bad about that, and yeah. So at this point, I'm kind of in fucking purgatory. I'm just waiting for a response, and she's not a dick, so like, you know, she'll give me her answer at some point. Yeah, it's hard to do that, and just like, I don't know. And it's, you know, now that I'm finding other stuff to like hyperfixate on, now that I'm not in a relationship anymore, just fully going full send on this looks maxing shit, man. And yeah, I've been on org, and I've been rated like low mid-tier normie, which is like, you know, I'll take it. I think people have said that I can ascend to high mid-tier normie, maybe low high tier normie, but I don't know. I just think that, like, with the way my eyes are, and like just the way that, and it's not pure genetics, it's the way that like I grew up. I grew up in a very high stress environment. I grew up like eating like not very healthy foods, not nutrient rich foods. I fully believe that if you ate unhealthy as a kid, you would be around 2 inches taller than you would be if you just ate more healthy, right? And it's fucking insane to think of that, but it is true, and it really does suck. But I mean, you can't, I don't know, like a main driver of success is like, you can't just fucking ladar and lay down and rot and just think about all the past and stuff. You have to think about the present and the future, and that's the most important thing. I think that, you know, one of the things that got me using peptides, I'm gonna hop off shortly because I don't know how long I can sustain this cut, so I'm gonna be done with peptides for a little while, once I shave off a couple more pounds. But like, I think one of the things that pushed me to do it is just like, I used to like think of like all the natties and like how much they like champion being natural. Like, being natural is so good, but in reality, like, besides posting on social media and just going in day to day, like, no girl is gonna ever care about, like, you know, I don't know, unless you're extremely explicit with it, no one's gonna care that you're not natty. They just care about the results. They don't really want to hear like a sob story of like how you just ate beef and eggs and, you know, fucking just had every macronutrient check for years, and, you know, you have a whiteboard above your scale, and, you know, you fraud max and just do hella skincare and dye your eyebrows and shit, and just all this to just like ascend a couple points. They don't want to hear about that. They just want to hear the end results. And a lot of people will say it's coke, but like, I don't know, like, I feel like women, even after you break up, they just have a fucking sensor, like, to after you've broken up and you're in like a vulnerable place. Like, an example was like, it was actually so brutal in one of my classes. I don't know, like, I'm in this class, and I was afraid that, and this was this semester, obviously, I was afraid that if I miss any classes, I would tank my grade, and I suck at the subject. So I'm like, I sent the teacher an email, and she's young, so she hopefully understood, but I'm like, hey, I'm, you know, going through a really, like, rough breakup at the time, so, I might not be super talkative in class, so if it's cool if you don't call on me, which is, like, super neurodivergent, crazy thing to ask your teacher, but like, you know, she's always fucking calling on me, and I, you know, don't know that, and I just don't want to, you know, like, I don't know, like, I'm on the borderline. This was right after the breakup, so I'm on like the borderline of fucking tears just thinking about it, right? And I'm like, dude, I can't fucking have her calling me in class. I'm just gonna like have an AirPod on my ear and just listen to music, man. And yeah, so, and then she has us turn around into groups and like talk with the people behind us, right? And I'm like, in all my classes, because my vision's poor, and I sit up as close to the front of the classroom as I possibly fucking can, right? And you know, I have glasses, which I'm wearing right now to drive, but I look horrible in glasses, and I'm just so insecure. Even right now, like, I'm looking at the camera, and it's not like at a flattering angle, right? Like, it's like under me, so like I look fat as hell, right? So the only way I feel like I look decent is just like if the camera's straight on, but you know, I don't want to fucking kill myself. Well, maybe. I don't want to kill myself driving my car, trying to set up a better camera angle, but this is what it's come to, man. It's like, it's come to just a hyper obsession on the way you look, and it's just so brutal because like I know that I just get treated differently now, and I don't know, like the biggest thing is that a lot of people don't understand is that once you start looking better, like, especially coming from like a sub 5 base, people will just treat you so much better, so differently. Anyway, back to the story. So she turns us the talk around in these groups, and I'm the first one, or I'm in the front of the class. I usually arrive kind of late, but I'm in the front of the class because that's the only seat no one wanted, right? So I permanently sat there, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to change where I sit, right? And, you know, we turn around and talk in our groups, and then there's a girl behind me that's like, I don't know, I think she's a freshman or something. Then there's another girl that's a junior, and she looks kind of like a sorority type, like, you know, very attractive, but just like, this is fucked up, but like, I can sense that there's some sort of like shallowness within her. Like, I don't know, even fraternity types, I've never really met that many down-to-earth people in fraternities. But anyway, continuing, so we're doing this, and I you know, I'm just so like coked out and just like stupid and like whatever, that I'm just like, while they're trying to get me to like contribute and shit, because they're usually nice to me. I usually like dress pretty nicely when I go to class, and I look pretty good. I like fraud max whenever I fucking go out now. Anyway, so, you know, she's trying to get me to participate, and I'm like, yeah, I just, you know, don't get pissed at me if I'm not too super talkative, because I'm going through like a breakup and stuff. And like, you know, the freshman girl, she gave the fucking normal response, right? She was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, like, that's horrible, like I won't try to bug you, the normal fucking. And then this fucking this succubus, like, and it's worse because like she's a good looking girl, but it's evil, it's fucking terrible. She was like, and I could sense it was insane. And she was like, yeah, like, oh my god, that's so sorry, like, what you're going through, like, if you need to like talk to anyone, like, I'm here. And then she was like, she pulls out her phone, opens Instagram, and was like, yeah, like, if you ever want to like talk on Instagram, like, shoot me a DM whenever, I'm free. And I'm like, are we fucking serious? Like, I don't know, like, you know, I'm not religious or anything, but that was one of the times I was like, dude, the devil's fucking real, man. Because when in like your weakest moment, these people will try to just like leech off of you. It's insane. And like, you know, it's fucked because like she was like, you know, in a conventionally attractive person, probably like a 7 out of 10, like like me back in fucking high school would have been like, what are we doing? Like, this is insane. Like, I never got like IOIs, which IOIs are indicators of interest from girls, really. And like, yeah, obviously not in middle school, but in high school either, until around senior year, never really got any of that. And like, oh my god, it's just, I would have never got any of that now. And I get like, even during like relationships, I kept it like bottled up. And like, I don't know, man. I think like they were just able to sense I was in a relationship, and were just ridiculously, sorry, I almost killed myself just now. It's ridiculously like flirtatious and just offering. And I'm just like, college is just, it's, for like a more promiscuous person, it sounds like heaven, but like I can't align myself with that stuff anymore, and it just sickens me. And like, I don't know, it's just like, even I know high school me would have like dreamed for times like these, but now, after like losing one of the most important people in my life, it's just like, it's just hell. I'm just like thinking now, like, I do all these measures to like look better and stuff, right? And like I get like good amounts of like female attention and like whatever, but it's just, I don't even want that anymore. And it's like I have a decent physique now, my face is leaned out a good amount, and like, and I just don't even want any of it anymore. I just wish that like, I lived a normal life that, I don't know, like my childhood was pretty fucked, but it's insane. Just thinking about all these measures, right? Like, I don't think I would have ever touched like a needle. Like, I was terrified of like even thinking about, like, my dad has to like inject himself for medical reasons. Like, or not anymore, but he used to for a long time. And I was just like, dude, how the fuck do you do that? Like, it hurts. I would never want to do stuff like that. And now, like, I'm just fucking full send on everything. Like, it's just, this breakup has just, I don't know, like, it's sort of given me a purpose in its own like fucked up way. And I'm like going off on Reddit True Tide, and just like, I used to, like, when I was cutting, I used to be hungry all the time, and now I don't. The GLP-1s are kicking in, and I'm not, or GLP-3s or whatever, and I'm not even hungry. I don't even feel anything anymore. Like, after not eating for an entire day, it's actually like, it's insane because it works, but it's fucking terrifying. And then I tried to like eat like real whole food, and I was just so anxious about everything that I just couldn't like hold the food in. It's fucking hell. And even just like, I don't know, the thought is like, at the end of the day, is like, I'm fucking average, like, I have an above average physique, but that's and like, I'm pushing the line on looks a little bit, but it's average. I have like, a slightly above average IQ. If you put me in fucking Walmart, I'm gonna, be smarter than those people. Sorry, but like a lot of the population. But you know, IQ wise, I'm fucking average. I used to be above, but I know that I've just fried my fucking dopamine, and just my brain cells are just fucking fried, and my IQ's gone down and stuff, and I just, yeah, and I'm like average height. I have horrible wrist genetics. I don't have the greatest, like, I don't hold on to fat that well. I have a shitty eye area. And, like, the only thing that's saving me is, like, a good physique, clear skin, and, like, decent health indicators, right? But I don't know, like, I don't think I'll ever ascend to, you know, Chad Light or anything. I think the highest could be high mid-tier normie, or low high tier normie maybe, and that's like, that's if I do everything right. And like I can't even like eat meals now. Like I haven't eaten a thing the whole day besides a couple bites of beef and eggs, and I feel nothing. I feel, you know, I could run a mile and I know that I've eaten 0 calories today. It's insane. But I don't know. I know, what I do know is that when it all is said and done, and like I truly ascend, like it'll all be worth it, because I know younger me, who is living in fucking hell, didn't receive any like that much attention until, you know, he ascended a little bit. It just, it'll be worth it for that kid. And it's fucked up, because I know it's like all of this stuff is super fucking autist, and like I don't know, like normal people don't think this way, but I don't know, like in my mind it makes perfect sense. I don't know why, if like, you know, I know people who are like slightly below average, I guess, and like don't receive any female like IOIs, you know, don't really like go on dates or have sex or anything like that, and like I sometimes envy their lack of urgency, you know, because, you know, they're not super insecure, even though that's, you know, where they are, right? So, but I guess they just don't perceive it the same as I do, as if it's some sort of fucking hell, which it fucking most definitely is. It is fucking hell, like living as like just an average person. And like, I don't know, I think like, I don't know, the greatest people I've seen on .org are the people who fucking, you know, lost everything and just had to rebuild from the ground up, and just, it's truly inspiring shit. Even if you have to like lose all your friends in the process, and just like, it'll all be worth it at the end of the day. It's just hard. It's just hard because, you know, some nights, I've always had trouble with sleep. You know, in high school, it was fucking crazy. I was like a fucking loser. I was I played high school sports, so that kind of fucking saved me. Like, any fucking major failo I've had is that there's always some caveat to it. Like, oh, at least I was in sports. Oh, at least I have a good physique. Oh, at least I still, like, you know, like, I have the ability to slay a little bit. But it's just, I was a bum, especially in COVID. My sleep schedule was fucked. I remember COVID time, I would fucking go to bed at like 1 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, wake up, get 4 hours of sleep just in time for online class, hop in the call, sleep through online class. The class ends, and I'm the only one left in the class, and they're like, Denzel. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I leave the class. And then when I'm finally awake enough, you know, me and my buddy would just play fucking Brawlhalla, we'd play video games for like 3 hours during our final class. And you know, like, I mean, not that I had any, like, there was not major learning to be done. It was fucking social studies and, like, a bunch of other bullshit classes in high school. But,